Like Christmas came early. Picked up a set of BC Racing coilovers for my 350Z. These are the BR series, which is a single adjustable linear piston, the monotube shock design. I have 33 clicks of adjustment. These are a true setup and not a divorced setup in the wheel. I believe my spring rates are 9K fronts and 5K in the wheel, but you can customize and do whatever you want with these things. I do have a few other springs laying around I could probably try. Unfortunately, these do not come with a adjustable camber top hat, just normal top hats. It does come with a warranty. It comes with the tools to adjust it and also the extenders for the wheel adjustment. And of course, stickers. I love stickers. When I bought the Z, it already came with coilovers. It has some Rev 9 coilovers already on it, which is like a budget friendly way to go, which I guess is a nice way to say it. But I've had them for a year and they've been fine. They've gotten the job done. I'm just ready for a good upgrade. The Z has always been a simple seat time car, so I've tried to keep the budget simple. Don't try to do anything crazy with it, which is why I've gone with BCs. I've actually owned quite a few of BC coilovers over the years for different cars. And honestly, for the money, it's kind of hard to beat them. It's not like I'm doing anything crazy or doing any competition with this car. I just need it to work, and these will work. I did get these on a Black Friday sale for about, I think $1,100 shipped. So not too bad, can't complain about that. But first, we remove the old coilovers, kind of hiding down in there. Removing the fronts is pretty straightforward. All it is a big bolt on the bottom, this guy. The brake line, so this nut, slide it out. The ABS wire just goes in those little clips. In the top hat, there's 3 nuts going through the top. But if you have a brace like this, you probably have to take that off too. We don't have to, but it'll just make life a little easier. Looks like I've been rubbing a little bit here. Hey, it's out. Also, to get it out, you also have to disconnect the lower control arm. I just took the bolt out from the subframe. You're also probably gonna have to disconnect your sway bar, but I don't have one in the front. So yeah, I didn't have to do that. Hey, it's free. Got the old one off in the front. Now I gotta adjust this one to match this one. That was pretty easy to do. If you know what you're doing, you have the right tools, you can probably take that thing off in like 5 minutes, super fast. Not bad. Honestly, as cheap coilovers go, these are not that bad. I've definitely had far worse coilovers. So if you're on a budget, you don't have a ton of money, these will get the job done. But these are about twice as much money. These do come preloaded, but to adjust preload, it's these 2 collars, these 2 adjustments. To adjust height is this guy here. So you loosen this guy and you turn this from this. You know, if you can tell, is my Rev 9s are slightly shorter than these, so I do need to adjust this up just a little bit. After you make a height adjustment and lock down your collar, it's not a bad idea to measure this gap from here to here and write it down. That way, when you do the opposite side, you can have the 2 sides match. Then you're in a good ballpark. Then you can adjust a little bit from there. Let's put the new fresh boy on. Go in your hole. Hey, new coilover is on. That was super easy, super straightforward. If you're wondering, the bolt back there is a 19. The one at the bottom of the strut is a 17. I believe my brake line is a 12. And up here is 13s. I did double nut them. because I had the nuts. I can do that. I don't know off the top of my head what the sway bar end links are since I don't have one on now, but I have to take it off. Next, let's go do the booty. Okay, we'll move over to the wheel. Wheel is somewhat easy, or especially if you're like me and you already have the old spring removed, which means I can't show you what it's supposed to look like. Like, there's a completely different control arm here that the spring sits in, and the spring goes against this bottom of the car here. As you, I don't have that. I just have this bar, this camber bar. Honestly, I don't know if there's any like true performance gains from going from a divorced to a true, but the benefit of going to a true setup is one, I think it's a little bit simple because it's all combined in one assembly. I like that. But let's go ahead and take this guy out. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I think it's like a 17 down here and two 12 mil. So you get them from down here and not inside the car. So that's kind of nice, kind of convenient. So you don't have to worry about taking out your interior, which I don't have any anyway. But you do have to have access to adjust it. That's what these things are going to. Okay, that was super easy, pretty straightforward. But if you're unlike me, and you still have the divorce setup, you're gonna have to take that control arm with the bucket in it, with the spring. To remove the spring, there's a 17 here, 19 here, get a jack to support under the spring under the bucket. Take those bolts out, remove the spring. After you got the old spring out, then you can either put that control arm, the factory one, back in, or you can get an aftermarket one like this that has the adjustment and put it in. Okay, now to compare the two very similar setups. This one does come with an extra nut. This one has the nuts welded onto the flange. Quite a bit of a height difference, so I'm gonna have to run this guy up same way as the front. These two are for the preload. This one's for the height adjustment. So I'm gonna break that loose, roll this guy up to match that one. I got these two pretty close. I wrote down my measurement for the other side. Now let's put this guy on. Okay, before I mount this, put this through the hole, I went ahead and mounted my dampening adjuster. You just slide it over and use an Allen to screw it down onto the knob. Figured it'd be easier to put it on out here than it will be once it's in the car. You'll see in a minute. You see my adjustment sticking through. Normally that hole's even smaller than that. I did not hack that up, so I did. And it would be really hard to mount it once it's down in the hole. It goes in the same way it came out. The only thing different really is that additional nut is added, which is a 19 mil or 3/4. But everything else is the same for that guy. Other than putting the wheels back on, this side is done. Of course, the other side, the exact same way. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and I'll see you in like 2 seconds. Hey, the coilovers are on, I'm done, it's all set up, ready to go. Well, not ready to go, because I do have to do one more thing before I take it for a test drive. The tires, the rear tires on this thing are pretty shot. And probably wouldn't be a good test drive with those bad of tires. Like, just threads and chunks missing. So the car is gonna ride like shit. Anyway, not a very good test for the coilovers. So I need to change these first. But Christmas definitely came early because I got some new tires. And a new arm for my tire machine. This should make changing tires a little bit easier. So I need to put this on first. But I don't know if it came with instructions.
Day 2.
Hey, I got my little arm installed, and it not being too bad. And it works. Hopefully this helps unmounting these guys. This is why you want adjustable camber in the wheel. You can see I'm eating up one side. I don't recall which side this was, but I definitely need to fix the camber on this one. There's like a lot of meat, plenty of meat here, nothing here. Hey, the car's done. I got my wheels mounted or swapped out in the wheel. I have it sitting pretty good. I won't say it's lower, it's probably the same lowness as my old coilovers. So that's a good thing from going coilover to coilover. It's a little bit easier to nail down your ride height from the beginning. Where if I was going from a stock suspension to coilovers, it'd probably take me a little bit longer to nail it down and get it fine-tuned. But I will probably bring it up a little bit in the wheel, because it does have a slight Carolina squat thing going on with the front's a little bit higher than the back. Also, my additional arm was great. It made changing that tire a lot easier. So if you have one of these cheaper machines, I highly recommend a secondary arm like that. But now we get to do the fun part and take it for a test drive. I'm probably just gonna go down the street, around the neighborhood. So nothing too fun, too crazy. Just to test things out. Right off the bat, the car feels a lot nicer, it's a lot more comfortable, it's a lot softer. So already A+. The old coilovers were definitely a lot harsher, a lot stiffer. I can definitely feel every bump. With these seem to cushy up the bump a little bit more. I'm going to do a donut with one hand. This bump, didn't feel too bad. Can't see. Hey, I'm back from my quick little test drive. I didn't go super far, just around the neighborhood. A few simple corners, but overall really good. They were super comfortable, a lot nicer, especially handling the bumps and stuff than the old coilovers. Definitely a lot enjoyable to drive on the street, or be a minute until I'm able to take it on a track. I've never driven this car on these stock suspensions, so I can't really compare stock to these coilovers. They're loud. But the car is definitely a lot more enjoyable to drive on the street. So I do drive this car around town every once in a while. I drive it to work and stuff. So at least it's a lot nicer for that. I can't wait to take it to a drift event. I don't have anything planned yet for that. I currently have all four corners on very soft. I haven't tried it on stiff yet. I will experiment more with that later. So more likely next year. Also, coming out of the driveway, into the driveway, the front end was a little low. I scraped up pretty bad, so I'm probably gonna have to raise the front up as well. But it does look pretty good at the stance it's at. But this is my third set of BC coilovers. I've had them on my WX, I've had them on my FOS before. I think that's it. But they've always been great, never had any real issues out of them. But I think that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it and hope it helps you out with your coilover purchases in the future. And of course, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and like button, leave a comment and all that fun stuff. And I will see you in the next one.